Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, Simone. I feel like giving you a big, big hug. It's overdue. So hello everyone. This is my very dear author, Simone Maria Quinn, and this is her the pinkest of pink books. And very, very inspiring. Like pink is just a feature, but yeah, it's called Demystifying Purpose, the 10 pillars to eliminating emptiness and live a meaningful life. So today we're here to have a chat with Simone about her, how her journey as an author began and, what she's doing today and, a little bit about the book because this book, yeah, you all need to get your hands on it. It's the crispest book, like it fits in my palm, literally,
Mm.
and it's like 100 something pages thick. She is a woman of few words, unlike me. Simone, I'm going
Yeah.
to give you a minute to talk.
Well, it's great to be here and it's great to chat, Shilpa, and talk about this little book, which we worked very closely together on.
Yes,
And yeah, it's bringing it to the light and also it's in audible form as well.
it
So,
is. It is. So
yeah,
we did not only publish a physical paperback book, but then we went the next step, and this book is also available on Audible. Very proudly, again, worked together by Simone and myself. Do get your hands on whatever mode you like. I'm going to just briefly introduce them to the book and how, like, I just love the way you think about purpose, right? Because
Mm.
everyone today out there is talking about, purpose, finding your purpose, right? And here's what Simone says. Are you done finding your purpose and finally ready to connect with the one that was always within you? That your perspective is what I love. Are you done with feeling unfulfilled, frustrated, stuck, lost? Are you done feeling not good enough because apparently you're the only one clueless while everyone else knows their purpose? Right? So that's a good teaser. It's slightly, a long blurb, so I'm not going to read the entire thing. But then she breaks the book down into 10 pillars, which are strategically placed in four sections. Okay. Now I'm going to hold that train of thought, Simone, and come back to it in a few minutes.
Mm.
But can you tell us when did you think about writing a book, and what was the moment that you decided, yes, I'm going to write a book?
Yeah. So I think it was around about 2017. I was thinking about it. I was thinking,
Okay.
oh, I'd really love to write a book, but hang on a minute, what am I going to write about? You know, will it be good enough? That sort of thing. Who's going to read my book? All those things came into play. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't quite have the subject matter at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It was through personal development work that I was doing because I left a job I didn't like prior to that, and all this personal development work I was doing, and purpose came up, the subject around purpose. So yeah, so I did a lot of kind of brain dumping on paper and journaling basically
Yep. Yep.
about about me and my purpose. What is this purpose thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's around about that time. And then we met online and you have this fantastic program, a 20-week program,
Yep.
Unleashing
Yep.
the Author Within You.
Unleash the
Yeah.
authority. Yeah.
Yeah. And it had part of a lovely group that I was involved in. We were all doing our book,
Yeah.
writing our book and writing our manuscript and
Yeah.
working as a group, but on individual projects
Yep.
and with you as our guide and as our mentor and leader of that, and 20 weeks of it, and it was just amazing. And that it just built momentum and I managed to finish the manuscript, which was great.
Yeah.
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 And that
So
was the beginning.
that was the beginning, and what a beginning. I do remember our phone call when you were like, let's do this,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you were the first one to, kind of kick that cohort of Unleash the Author Within. It's a 20-week program, which in which where we go from rough draft to published, no, rough draft to finished manuscript, and the
Yeah.
publishing comes afterwards. So now going back to that
Yeah.
Sorry, were you saying something, Simone?
Um, I think that what I do remember most specifically, and it was quite a defining moment, is that you know, I remember your words that there is a book within you, believe that,
Mm,
and it'll be your book like no one else's book. And that's what gave me, that was the tipping point for me. Yeah, of course, no one else is going to write the book I'm going to write.
yeah,
So just write it. And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Thanks for highlighting. That is indeed my unique, unique pitch and my way of working, my way of bringing out your work in the world. Because so we are here, right? You are writing the book that only you can write, So if any one of you, you're listening and you're ready to finally get over your fears, your limitations, and ready to write the book that only you can write, then, let's talk. So let's go back to that very juicy thread about the 10 pillars, which, you've divided into, four segments, the greatness, gateway, groundwork, and gifts.
Mm.
So can you tell us what your book is about and, yeah, some insights that people would get from reading a book?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically it's come from a place of stuckness. One is frustrated, one's feeling lost. There's no joy. You're on automatic pilot. What's it all about? So this is how the book began, and so the four sections. The greatness. The greatness is basically knowing your why and
Mhm.
embracing. Most specifically, the key in the book is your uniqueness. And for
Mm,
me, that I think is one of my favorite chapters because there is no one else like you. So why
yeah,
pretend?
yeah,
Yeah. So that's what I was telling myself. And then there's the gateway. That's the how of you, right? So identifying with yourself, your beliefs, your values, etc. And specifically your needs.
yeah,
The groundwork. So it's the doing the work and becoming the driver in the driver's seat of your life. No one else can do that. If you hand that over, then you're not really living your life. That's how I came about that. And then there's the
mm,
gifts. So the gifts, of course, is connecting with your purpose, making a difference in your life and others, which is really key, I think, to purpose, and then living a meaningful and fulfilled life at the end of that. I mean,
yeah.
what else do you want?
And truly like enjoying the gifts that have come by as a result of those three initial foundational pillars of
Yes, yes,
uh
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I think within greatness, there's four chapters. Gateway, there's two. Groundwork, there's two, I think, and then there's a couple at the end, something like that. Three
mm,
at the end.
mm,
Yes. So that's how it all came about, and it's not a difficult read. It's a smooth read, and you can pick up any section and any chapter at any time. And then there are the exercises behind the chapters, the journal prompts, etc., etc., to
yeah,
connect you with the
yeah,
chapter and the doing the work. Yeah, it's not a lot of
yeah,
work. It's really easy if you can, to
yeah,
find your
it's
purpose. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. And your book is an easy read, and yeah, it's very beautifully, thought-provoking. It's not just like a storybook, read and put it aside. Every chapter at the end has a set of exercises, journaling prompts. I really like how you position that. Uniqueness, yeah, embracing uniqueness is your favorite chapter. For me, it's enoughness. I love that chapter. Uh, do you want to tell us a little bit about your story and I know you've talked about uniqueness, your favorite bit, but yeah, a little bit of your story and how
My
that's
story.
weaved into the book.
Yeah. So, I was doing a job that, I was on automatic pilot. I was doing it for years and years. I was in the hospitality industry. I was a chef. I'm a chef by trade, so to speak. And at the end of the day, I let that define me. So
Mhm.
coming out of that, what we do is not what defines us. It's not who we are. It's part of who we are. There's so many facets to who we are. The job is not who you are.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where I came to that, and I was really spiraling out of control with regards to, um, yeah, feeling stuck and lost and not very happy person, and a extreme lack of joy was there, and I just didn't want to go on anymore, really. I had no purpose. And so I was struggling with going and finding my purpose. Where is it? What am I meant to be doing, instead of doing the inner work
Yeah.
and finding what gives me joy? What is my passion? What is the passion? Why am I here? So that's where that came from. And, as a result, I love cooking more and more now, on a personal and family level. And I don't do it to make a living, which is a really good thing. I do other things, and I
Yeah.
support and help other people, with regards to what the work I do now, so far as coaching and, um, peer work. Mm,
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to highlight some of the quotes.
mm,
So this is such a power-packed book. There's so much that I can really, just um, praise, highlight. So I'm gonna I've highlighted some of my favorite quotes by Simone, which are in the book. So you say, since there is, and her approach is not very poetic, but she's very like, no BS, just say it as it is. So since there's no one else like me in the entire universe, the magic lies in my uniqueness. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, when you read it with impact, when you read it with the emphasis, you can sense the intensity of it, right?
mm,
And there's one more, which is again, I think it defines the entire book. Just like purpose, an infinite potential is already hidden within you. It's only a matter of awakening it. And I think this really took the burden off my shoulders, because when I hear, even though I know the contents of the book, we've both read it multiple times in the process of writing, editing. um and I was like, okay, now so it's about the inner work. So we've got to do the inner work, right? Which again feels heavy, feels hard, right?
mm,
Because
mm,
it's about discovering ourselves, facing our fears, isn't it? um and then when you say, just like your purpose is hidden within you, there is also an infinite potential, the potential and the energy that's required to bring that purpose out. You could write a sequel on this book, and we talked about this earlier, right? Book number 2,
mm.
Unleash the Purpose Within, you know.
Yes,
Unleash the author
yes,
within, unleash the purpose within.
yes. It's
Um,
it's absolutely.
yeah. So, tell me, what have your family and friends told you? What's some other feedback you've heard from, strangers, readers?
Yeah, I've had, wide and far, quite a bit of feedback. The book's got into the hands of where it should be, and the ripple effects have been far and wide. There's one particular lot of feedback that I won't forget, was that a woman got in touch with me after buying a book, and she read the book straight away and did all the exercises, all the journal prompts, did all the work, the
Mm-hmm.
back of each chapter straight away, and just did it quite quickly, and then asked, when is the second one coming out? When's the second book coming out? Because it
Wow.
really resonated with her, and she even decided when she was going to resign from her job and go and do what she really, wanted to do for a long time, whatever that was. And she's doing that. She's living
Yeah,
her
wow.
purposeful life. Yeah. But she just let go of the fear. I think this is the big key with life and purpose. It's letting go of the fear. And so you can ask your question, yeah, whatever happens, can you handle it? And if you can say yes, if you can
Yeah.
say yes to that, then you just go with it. I've had a, a psychologist basically ring me and said, where can I get a copy of your book? I've got a client who I think who could really, because she read it, where
Mm,
can we get more? And um, yeah, some of her clients are reading it because they're stuck.
yeah.
Be
Yeah,
stuck in
that's
that
beautiful.
spiral, that working spiral of
Yeah.
of of going nowhere. because it's all about, I think I've got to keep doing this thing because I've got to keep paying the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. You got to, there's definitely a sense of reality about life. I mean, I've got to keep it real. Life is a struggle, trying to stay on top of things, cost of living, whatever. But, there got to be some joy as well. So kind of easing in the joy through purpose, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be with work. It could be with anything like volunteering. It could be hobbies,
Yeah.
which can then transcend into something else. I've had family members go back to this book time and time again and they've got it by their bedside at night. I've got
Yeah.
colleagues who've got it by their bed who just tap into it now and then when they need to. It's that kind of book. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so beautiful, Simone.
Mm.
You know what I'm thinking? Please describe to me the feeling. Like I've been there, but I want to hear from you. How does it feel to know that you have, like, I think when you achieve it, you lose that arrogance. Uh, how does it feel that you have touched a life and more?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like there's this sense of gratitude that's always there for me. And just, yeah, I feel really happy for people.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just feel the sense and a relief. It's the strangest thing. Yeah. Um, yeah, I just think that, and a sense of ease and also freedom. There's this sort of sense
yeah.
of freedom that comes
It's
from even myself.
it's
Just,
out it's out
it's
of
a
me.
letting, just a letting go.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
thing about this, once I had it in my hot little hand,
Oh,
it was just like, wow, like let it go, just let it go where it needs to go, and it is.
yeah,
And I'm not, I'm not kind of like, I don't have huge like the hope, and I don't give it direction of where it should go. It's just going where it needs to go. Yeah.
yeah.
And
And
it's doing the
it's
work.
it's it's beautiful what you say because it just, there's so much of obsession about numbers and statistics and
Yeah.
controlling results. But really, when you've given your best bit in this thing, and I think now you can't control the results. Like, there's the universe is always going to send you more than you imagined.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And particularly now that it's in the audible form, it's reaching other people who would prefer to listen to and to be read to, and
Yeah.
they receive the information in that way. And I think it's a wonderful gift as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I really want to commend you because, yes, a lot of authors are doing it, but when you did it a few years ago, it was not the norm that, it's a great initiative that you took the effort to make it available in different forms that makes it
Mm.
easy for people to access in the way they like to consume your book. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I realize now that many people just don't read for various reasons,
Yeah.
whatever that reason is.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think in
okay
today's
too.
in today's world, people are just busy. They just so busy. They don't have the time to, sit in bed the last 30 minutes and, read it. I've made that a conscious habit recently, but I've massively, moved to Audible as well. Um,
Mm.
can you tell us how was the process of, writing and publishing the book? What did you find was valuable to you?
Oh, well, just going back to beginning and writing it, of course, it was during I live in Melbourne, first lockdown, and it gave me a sense of, strangely enough, purpose to get
Mm,
and stuck into it and meet these kind of pillars, so to speak. Each week I
yeah,
was reaching certain marks so I could be progressing. So I really enjoyed the writing. I did get stuck, of course, now and then, but I
yeah,
just pushed through. I just let the words come. One day it'd be like a sentence, the next it'd be like a page. Then I didn't really get caught up in my word count. I didn't let that define my book at
yeah.
all. It was what
Love
it
that.
was, and it's a small book. I
Yeah,
did have to add a few more at the end, but that's where I needed to fill it out a bit. And it was really critical that I did that because I put more of myself into it in that
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
And that was really a cathartic process for me. Um, and then having the manuscript and then the editing process was a long one but at times painful because it's a process. But then
yeah,
again, I came out of there feeling light and like a feather, and we, really thoroughly went through it time and time
Yeah,
again. And
yeah.
then the publishing bit, well, that was exciting because there it's happening, and then where there's many sections that you kept me on track with, like for example, the cover. What's the
Oh,
cover going to look like? Oh my
isn't
God,
it? It's the hottest thing ever, isn't
I
it?
know, I know,
And
and I
and did
just
you
love the
notice,
green.
just in case you've not noticed, coincidentally,
Yeah,
my t-shirt happens to be the same color today. So fantastic.
I love that. I just love that. And you always find this book, even though it's tiny, it's just going to stick out. And I just love the green and the butterflies flying off because
Yeah,
they're all doing their thing. And yeah, so the publishing was fantastic. And then eventually then ordering some myself and then seeing them in print, it was fantastic. It was the most amazing thing that I've ever done and achieved, basically, for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you
Yeah. Being
deserve
my
it,
being my being my first book, Shilpa.
Of course, that's where you start. You
Yeah.
start somewhere. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah, I think what's coming to me is your work and the heart and the soul that you or any author puts in. I consider it very important to give it the care through editing. And yeah, I cannot not bother about spelling mistakes or punctuation errors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
prefer that tidiness and the neatness. um, I'm just going to show you, a beautiful feature about Simone's book and how we package. This is how, every reader leaves a chapter. How beautiful is that?
Mm,
So you're not jumping from chapter to chapter. You've got, like a summary. You wrap it up. You kind of finish one thing, begin the other.
mm.
Beautiful. Um, yeah,
And based on the, I'll just point out, based on the editing process, working with you, Shilpa, that's it wouldn't have happened without you. And so you were very critical in that whole process because you knew about what to do next, and
yeah,
your sense of the detail and getting things right, and just but in a very really beautiful and magical way with your words. You just, yeah, put it together and give me some ideas. Let me see, I could approach it another way or a different perspective. But yeah, I mean, you were my kind of guiding light, and there we did it, and I couldn't have done it without you, and I wouldn't be here without you. So
and
I
likewise,
couldn't
I
recommend
mean,
Shilpa any more than that. Mm,
thank you, Simone. And, yeah, you wouldn't be here without yourself, Simone. I think, you were the one who decided to step up, to change how things were, to, face your fears, to finally say yes to your dream, right? This all sounds like a bit woo-woo and wishy-washy, but it is what it is. It is how things happen. It is how, when you're finally planning on, like, when you're taking the decision to write the book, all the fears come in your way. you know what if I don't finish it?
mm.
Who will read it? you know what are
But
people gonna
yeah,
say, right?
yeah.
Eh,
That
what,
was the
what
big one. Who will read
yeah,
it? Yeah.
yeah. And what my friends and family say, will they think I'm being too much? Will they
Yeah.
judge me? Will they mock me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, some were surprised because, personal development work is, it's a big one. But this is not about personal development. This is coming from my work that I've done on myself, and
Yeah.
and basically in a sense, I'm summarizing like a process to get to your purpose, to get to connect to that purpose that you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the thing is also, it's not easy. It's a hard journey. There's nothing easy about writing a book. But once you've committed, then, and you've just said you're going to do it, then you find a way. You find a
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like it. Thanks for highlighting that. Yes, it's not easy. It's not cakewalk. There is a step-by-step system. There is a step-by-step process we follow. And I'm going to give you clear instructions, all the prompts, all the worksheets, all the stuff, everything that you need to bring that goodness out of you. And believe me, you will.
It's an amazing system. Oh,
Thank you.
amazing system. You had it all wrapped up, and you don't just dump it all at once. We follow it step by step through the weeks, and to get to the next level, you've had to have done the work before. Otherwise, it just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
you're lost in the
it's
process.
a drip effect, week by week. That's it.
A
Yeah.
drip effect. I love that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. Thank you, Simone. I want to congratulate you again. Your book has been around for a couple of years now. It has been reaching the hands of very many strangers. I remember you told me the other day of your, hair salon lady spontaneously on the spot buying your audiobook and loving it.
Yes. Yeah, she got it, and she just was listening into the car, and because she was quite clear that she just doesn't, well,
Read.
for various reasons, people
Yeah.
can't actually read at all
Yeah.
because of whatever that is.
Yeah.
And for her, she's got all these books there ready to listen to. And the next time I went in from another appointment, oh, I've listened to your book. I love it. I love it. I've told people about it, and I'm always listening
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
great too. It was lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so thank you and congrats on, all the sales you've been getting and all the sales you are going to get in the future. I truly want to thank you for your time and for being here, for sharing your experience. Any last words from you? And when we publish this interview, I'm going to share the links for people to check out and buy your book on Amazon and Audible. Uh, Anything else you want to tell your readers, your listeners?
Oh, look, this book is for you, reader. Book is for you,
Oh,
and I hope you enjoy it as much as I got to write it, and I wrote it for all of you. Yeah. So I hope that you get some joy and some little, nuggets in there, and yeah, yeah, do the prompts, the exercises, and have fun with it. So
yeah. And
yeah,
by the end, I can assure you, you would be able to demystify this whole mystery called purpose.
that's right. It does demystify purpose, and that's just liberating.
Yeah,
So yeah, at the end of the day, I hope many of you are liberated from yourself. That's it.
beautiful. Amen.
Amen. Yeah. It's just
All
a
right.
mystifying purpose.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. All right. See you soon.
Thank you.
Next time. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Shilpa.
Simon.